Okay, so you guys know that I've been playing LA Golf shafts for a long time now. We love them for long drive. Moo plays them as well. So we're here with Will from LA Golf, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about the technology behind some of the shafts. I play with the A series.
Okay.
Regularly. I have the G series, which I love. I haven't dove into it too much just yet. And then Moo's got Bryson.
Okay.
So
Where would you like to start?
let's go with the A series to start, 'cause
Okay.
that's my favorite.
Great. Yeah, so the A series is a very universal profile. We have high, mid, and low for that.
Yeah.
So it really fits into a lot of different bags because we can alter the trajectories in that way. But we do it with very different profiles than what you're used to. You'll notice with the high profile, it's much more stiff from tip to butt, is consistent, which helps keep the dynamic loft up to get you up. Versus where you'll see a lot of high launch shafts, they focus on kick points and such.
Yeah.
We don't do that. It's definitely based off of release point more than it is any of the other stuff. So that's
Love
where we
that.
kind of settle into a different place in the shaft world. And then with kind of following that, the Bryson series. So it's set up as a low shaft, but the way we do that is the tip section actually gets softer. What that helps you do is as you stress the shaft, like a Bryson, a player who would play Bryson would do that. As you stress the shaft, the tip kind of deflects a little more, gives you a little more or a little less dynamic loft, so you keep that trajectory down. And also with a little higher torque than what you would assume, you get a little bit more stable head because you don't get as much gear effect when you hit it.
Which is good for Moo because
there you go.
He's playing a 7, like for long drive, he can't get the lower lofted heads as a lefty, and so the Bryson shaft suits him so well for that, like keeping that flight nice and tidy.
Yeah.
Because he's swinging so fast.
So the tip is flexible.
It's less stiff. Than the midsection.
But it's still high torque.
High torque. Yep. So the reason we can get away with that is our 16-sided HD tooling. Don't make me pronounce hexadecagonal too many times. But the way that works is basically instead of a circle that you would get with all the other shafts, the inside is actually like 16 sides. So you get little angles.
Wow.
So what happens in a circular format, obviously as you stress it, you get hoop deformation.
Yes.
With ours, you get individual angles, 16 of them around the inside. So as the stress comes, it's pushing against each of those angles.
Wow.
Right? So what that allows is for us to get thinner shaft walls for better feel, but actually increase the stability.
Whoa.
Nobody else is doing that. We have that patented.
Whoa.
That's awesome.
So that's why you can get that feel out of it. Yeah.
Now we
ball speeds.
Correct.
Ball speeds go up pretty easily.
Correct. And then that follows into our Gold series, which is our premium shaft offering. Has the 16-sided HD tooling, but it also has full-length boron, which is $1,500 a pound. That we do full-length pre-preg. We make our own and roll it in. So what happens with that, as you stress a shaft, that's going to fall, it's all right. As you stress a shaft, you got tension up top. Carbon fiber is great under tension. But this underside here, it's bad under compression. That's where you get some overlay. Boron is incredibly strong under compression. So basically we've eliminated hoop deformation.
And can you tell us about the spine in the shaft?
What spine?
What
spine?
So
no spine.
So there is no spine.
So with it, as you do the 16-sided tooling and then you get the boron, I mean, it just allows us to make it a very, very uniform shaft. I mean, if you put it on a peering machine, you're going to see someplace.
Yeah.
But when we talk to our guys that use our fitter partners that use peering machines, they've all said I mean, really any place you put it is fine.
So when you change the loft and the shaft turns in the club head, you don't get
That's what I've noticed
flex.
because we play around with the loft, obviously with long drive, depending on conditions. Well, especially for me, he doesn't really because he needs it like as low as possible, and he can only get down to 7.5. But I notice that when I'm switching it around, the shaft never feels like drastically different.
Correct.
Which is
That's why.
a huge bonus.
Because especially as you like when you think of a 16-sided, as you roll it, it's the same, right? So the thicknesses stay the same in that specific area. So you're never going to get any sort of weird, deformations that happen. Plus, being a small company and we make everything in Anaheim 100%. So all made in the USA, we can control the process.
All small batch.
Correct. Yeah, there's no
production.
100%. It's all small batch, and our director of operations can walk downstairs and go right onto the floor and make sure everything is tip top.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's what makes us different.
Well,
Very cool.
you guys are underrated.
I agree.
So
I agree.
underrated.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first got my hands on the shafts, I was like, no, this is like really special, and I've never touched anything else since then. And we've tried like the Ventus. Well, I've tried the Ventus, and it for me, it's not comparable at all.
They're in different worlds. I mean,
Yeah.
Venice is great. Take nothing away from
Yeah.
Fujikura. They do great work.
Yeah.
We just do it differently.
Yeah.
And because we're not as big, we're able to do things differently.
We thought it was
love
luck,
that.
Will.
I mean, there's a
guys
little
just
bit
got
of that. Yeah. There's a little bit of that, but I think it's just coming across a good discovery and then
Yeah.
figuring out how to execute it. I mean, there's decades of innovation and process improvement that's gone into this.
And it also goes down to like your branding as well and your team, and it's just something fresh and new in the golf industry, and it's very appealing. It's very much like, okay, this is cool, and I
Yeah.
want to be a part of it, kind
Yeah.
of thing, which is like really, really nice to see in the golf industry because, I mean, yes, tradition is great and everything, but you want to see like fresh and exciting stuff all the time, right?
100%. We're
Yeah.
a pro player, anti-establishment company.
And your golf ball is unreal.
I know. Thank
Tell
you.
us about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please
So,
talk
'cause
about the
we've
ball.
noticed it because I like to cut the ball open.
Yeah.
And I want to see what's inside. We noticed from last year to this year, or from your first ball to this ball, we can't crack the ball, can we?
No, I've never cracked it.
So tell us a little bit about, or a lot about, that we want to know.
Yeah.
What the differences are and why you went where you went.
Yeah, sure. So, the thing we noticed that there's a niche in the ball market that was missing. Mainly, you look at left dash Pro V1X, right?
Yeah.
Everybody just, goo goo gaga over that ball, right? We saw that there was a missing component of that ball that even I, as a former left dash player, it doesn't spin around the green. And pretty much anybody will tell you that. It's really tough to spin it around the green. Great driver performance, great, mid-iron performance and everything, but when you get around wedges and stuff, it's harder to check it up. I had to go away from playing the ball because of it, until I played that. Where the first thing I noticed was, yeah, it's longer. Why is that? Okay, great. I'll take it. A little less spin, better launch conditions. Sure, that's all easily explainable. Mid-iron spin's fine, But checking it up around the green, seeing the wedge spin, like I actually had to deal off my wedges a little bit to get less spin.
Yeah.
More so on your 75-yard shots, right? So the way we do that, it's a 4-piece construction, nothing new there, right? But we have a super high compression inner core and a little bit lower compression outer core.
Right.
The secret sauce is our outer mantle. It's proprietary materials going on there. I can't say anything about.
Okay.
Top secret.
Top
It's
secret.
the one that's up against the cover.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. That is the secret sauce mixed with the cover. So what it allows is like better energy transfer from cover to core, obviously, and where you're really compressing the cores in the driver. But it helps the wedge spin because that relationship between the cover and that mantle piece. Yeah. So that's a little bit of it. And plus, because of what we're using in that mantelpiece, it actually flies a little straighter. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but like I play a little cut off the tee, and I've noticed that like when I first started playing the ball, I was in the left rough a lot. I'm like, it's just not cutting. So I can aim a little bit more left center and just hammer it and let it ride.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
it's
less
a phenomenal
side spin.
piece. Yep.
And obviously, because the ball spins less, you're going to get less side spin anyways, right?
Yep.
But the compression that you get in the core with the woods, one of the things, when I split that ball open, I noticed it was very different from the previous year.
Yep.
We were impressed the previous year with the distance we were getting out of it.
Yeah.
But now,
This
from
is just
what,
next
from what
level.
you're saying, I mean, that's a ball I should be playing with on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, independent testing had our ball carrying further than any other ball in the market. The reason for that is every other ball, when it gets to the apex, falls out of the sky.
Right.
Ours actually spins through the apex a little longer, so it gives you 7 to 8 yards more carry just by virtue of that.
Love it.
Yeah, so if you get that extra little, rotation through the apex of it, so as it's falling, it gets a little extra, that's really where the magic is.
That's so cool.
Yep.
Well, thanks for taking the time
Absolutely.
to talk to us about
Thanks
it.
for coming by.
Yeah, I love it.